Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. All right, welcome back to the channel. Once again, we're at the Georgia Gun Club's 100-yard indoor rifle range. Today I'm shooting my Tikka T3X223 Remington mounted in an Oryx chassis. We're shooting 24 grains of CFE223 powder with a 75 grain Berger VLD target bullet. And I'm kind of excited about today's study because we're doing a seating depth test. There's a link in the description below to a video by Erik Cortina entitled Chasing the Lands is Stupid. And he talks about how to do seating depth. And so what I'm doing is I'm following the pattern that he's given. I've found where the jam is, and I've seated 6 rounds 20 thousandths back from the jam. And then I'm going back in 3,000th increments. And I've got 25 targets that I'll be shooting. And each one of these is a 3,000th increment back from the starting point. So I'll be shooting 3-shot groups at each. I'll be shooting 1 fouling group at the first target with 3 shots. I'll make adjustments to the scope as needed, and then I'll shoot the rest of the targets at that setting. And we will see how they do. All right, as always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results that follow. Shooting at 100 yards. All right, I've got a few 1-hole groups out here. Let's bring them in and see how they compare. All right, so what we're looking for here is a node where we have groups that are really tight. Like here, there's 2 there, there's 3 there. That's pretty tight, pretty tight, pretty tight. But what Erik said is you're looking for 2 in a row together where you have a really tight group. And on number 17 here, I made a note. I know that I pulled this one. So that might have been a really tight group. But regardless, I've got a good group here, good group here. So that may be my node right there. Let's see. Got a really tight group here. Pretty tight there. That could be a node as well. But I'm going to take these home, measure these, analyze them, and then get back to you with the results. All right? As mentioned, there's a link in the description below to a video by Erik Cortina, F-Class champion, entitled Chasing the Lands is Stupid. And he talks about finding your node by adjusting the seating depth of your bullet. And he talks about finding your jam, where what you do is you take a dummy round with one of your sized cases, you put a bullet, you seat a bullet just inside of that case, you put that into your rifle, you close the bolt, and then you remove that. What that does, it seats the bullet into the case so the bullet is actually touching the lands inside your rifle. You take that out, you measure that. So once you measure that and have that number, you're going to back off of that 20 thousandths and you're going to start loading there. Then you're going to back off another 3 thousandths, another 3 thousandths, another 3 thousandths. You're going to load 3 rounds at each of those overall lengths, and then you're going to shoot those groups, and you'll see some of the groups that are larger and some of the groups that tighten. And when you find 2 groups together that are tight, that's where your node is going to be. And this can also be like a sine wave where you'll have a node and then it opens up, and then you'll have another node and then it opens up. And so what you want to do is you want to zero in on that node. And so I have found that here. So what I did is I did that with my rifle, and I found that my starting point was going to be 2.468 inches. So I started there. I loaded 6 at that overall length, and then I backed off 3 thousandths, and I ended up with 25 targets with 3 rounds for each target. Now, it was interesting doing this because what I did is I first shot 2 groups at the same length. So here's what I did. I started off with 2 groups of 3 loaded at 2.468 inches. I shot the first group. Then I adjusted the scope 2 clicks to the right, shot the next group. It was shooting high, and so I adjusted the scope down a couple of clicks, and then that's where I shot the rest of my targets. So I had a 0.26 group here, then it opened up to 0.65, 76, 98, 23, 59, 34, 47, 70, 68, 39, 80, not getting 2 tight groups in a row until I really back off of it. So now I'm at 2.426 inches, and I've got a group of 0.91. I've got a group of 0.89, but I pulled one here, and I made a note of that because I know that I pulled that one. So that might have been the beginning of the node there, and I think it was because my next group was 0.20, then 0.43, then 0.43 again. So I believe that's my node, and it may have actually started here, but I'm not counting that one. So I'm going to load some at this length and see how those perform. Just to look at the rest of these, I had groups at 5.5, 2.4, 121, 0.30, and 0.45. I was pretty pleased with the performance on these because out of 25 groups that I shot, I only had 1 group that was over an inch, and that was at 1.21 inches. I went ahead and averaged each row just out of curiosity to see if it would get tighter or open up. So I started out with an average row of 0.66, then it goes to 0.58, 0.61, then down to 0.7, and then down to 0.55. So as these loads are getting shorter, it is starting to tighten up. Now I still have some room. This particular bullet loads at 2.36 inches. That's the recommended weight. And this group I got down to 2.439. That means I've got 79 thousandths still that I haven't explored. And so I would have another 28 groups to load in order to test all of these at 3 thousandth increments. But in any event, I'm going to load some here at the 2.42, and he said to drop off 1 thousandth. That'll make up for any variations in bullet length. I'm going to load some at 2.419 and test those and see how those perform. So very pleased overall. It was a very interesting study to go through. So I've got some more work to do, but I think I can get it to maybe at some point where I can get down to this 0.2 inch group. and shoot that on a consistent basis. All right, thanks for watching. As always, if you have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, please leave those in the comments below. I try to interact with everybody that comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.